recording this right after the last video that I recorded, which, might be a few days apart for you, but it's been 2 minutes for me. So I'm still here with my wet hair and my hat with the logo in the back because I don't know if I can show the logo. But today will be a bit shorter video talking about horsepower input versus horsepower output. Now, we're not talking about, yes, we are talking about cars, but we're talking about yourself as an example. So I am a car guy. I like cars. I technically don't even own one yet, but when I do get a car, I don't know, it's just going to be a lot of fun. I've loved cars for a long time, and one of the big things that you hear is horsepower. Whenever someone gets a car and they know anything about the car, they're like, how much horsepower does it have? And there's a difference. If you say 400 horsepower is what the engine makes, it makes 400 horsepower. But let's say you have really bad engine internals, you have bad exhaust, I don't know the exact components, and believe me, if I don't, I doubt any car enthusiasts are watching this. So whatever the mechanical stuff is that brings that engine horsepower to the wheels, let's say it's really bad. And yeah, the engine produces 400 horsepower, but the wheels only get 200. Then what's the point of having a 400 horsepower engine? And my point is, if you're putting in action, I know I mentioned in the last video about how action is important, it must be at most at least a little bit leveraged of action. Now, give me a second here. Which would be better? A 400 horsepower engine that only puts out 200 wheel horsepower, so how much the wheels actually have horsepower, that's how much horsepower you're going to feel, or have a 200 horsepower engine that outputs 200 horsepower. And I know you're saying, well, it's 200 horsepower either way. But let's say the one car with the 400 cost $40,000 and the other car with the 200 cost $20,000. Which do you think you're going to pick if you're getting the same horsepower to the wheels and they look the exact same for this example? Obviously, you're going to pick the cheaper one because there's no point in paying for just, an engine that doesn't do its job. The engine doesn't get the necessary horsepower to the wheel, so what's the point? It's like my dad said, or I guess my grandfather would say, about putzing around. I think it's German. I don't know, it might be English. They're German. But putzing is doing tasks that don't need to be done. That way, you don't have to do the tasks that need to be done. So, for an example, let's say I had to finish my essay today. Okay, I had a reading essay on, we're reading a book called Night. It's about the Holocaust, so great, because why not for Valentine's Day? It's due tomorrow. And instead of actually doing the work, I do stuff that does need to be done. I organize my room. I sit down. I fix the cables behind the TV. I'm just looking at it. The cables, I do need to fix those cables. Let's see, what's other meaningless random tasks? Oh, I go do push-ups for half an hour. I don't want to say stuff like YouTube because that's procrastination. That's different. Just doing tasks that don't need to be done. Go feed my dog, go vacuum, when the task at hand, the task I'm avoiding, is that essay. Now, I think that's all I want to say for this, because I feel like this is up a bit to personal interpretation to what the main task is, but it should be pretty clear. The tasks that move the needle the most in your favor, whether it's in business or in life, like let's say for business, outreach is what's going to move the needle the most. That's what's going to make you the most money. That's how you're going to be successful. If you sit around designing your website and your logo for 3 hours when you could have been doing 3 hours of outreach, which do you think is going to be more valuable? Exactly. The website, yeah, sure, it might help a little bit whenever you're closing people. But, okay, let's say it adds a 1% ABR. But you could be doing cold calls and get 5 meetings booked in the time it took you to do that. So you see, it doesn't make sense. And like I said, I'll leave it a bit up to personal interpretation. And I just want to mention that. That's all I really have. I said this would be a short one, and, well, it has been. If you enjoyed the content, please feel free to subscribe, leave a like. It's free. And leave a comment if you have any recommendations for videos I should make or concepts I should look into. I will be very happy to do so. And with that, I wish you the best.